We begin with breaking news at this noon hour. Actor Paul Reubens, known best for portraying Pee Wee Herman, has died at the age of 70 years old. Reubens was facing a private 6-year-long battle with cancer. Fans and fellow entertainers like Jimmy Kimmel and Natasha Lyonne responded to the actor's death, saying he was one in all time. Hi everyone, it's so good to see you. Welcome to KREM 2 News at noon. I'm Tim Pham. We have a lot to get to at this noon hour, so let's get right to it. Just minutes ago, Lori Vallow Daybell was sentenced to 3 life sentences with no parole. In May, she was found guilty of murdering her 2 children and conspiring to murder her husband's ex-wife. Several people spoke at her sentencing, but Lori Vallow herself issued her own statement.
My beautiful children, Tylee Ashlyn and Joshua Jackson, rest safely this day in the arms of Jesus. My wonderful friend, Tammy Daybell, rests safely this day in the arms of Jesus. And I look forward to the day when we are all reunited and I too will rest with them in the arms of my Jesus.
Well, she will now be sent to the Idaho Department of Corrections. For more information, you can head to our website, krem.com, and then join us for KREM 2 News First at 4 for a full breakdown of what happened in the courtroom. Well, happening right now, there are wildfire level 2 evacuations both in the U.S. and Canada this afternoon. The Eagle Bluff fire started Saturday afternoon and has destroyed 3 homes. It is burning near the town of Oroville in Okanogan County, right along the Canadian border. Take a look at this time-lapse video sent in to us by a viewer. You can see there the flames are spreading across the hill, creating a lot of smoke. The State Department of Natural Resources says the wildfires burned more than 10,000 acres, forcing people to evacuate. British Columbia Wildfire Service reports more than 2,000 acres burned on its side of the border. The total acres burned in both the states and Canada is more than 12,000 acres.
We were ready to go. That's the first time that I've ever had to pack up things for a fire, despite having seen fires before.
Okanogan County Emergency Management believes this fire was human-caused, although it is still under investigation. For more coverage on wildfire season and what's ahead and how the Inland Northwest is preparing for our own wildfires, you can head to KREM 2 Plus. That's our streaming platform. You can download it on Amazon Fire or Roku. All right, the time now is 12:03. We're going to take a look at our forecast with meteorologist Thomas Patrick. Hey there, Thomas.
Yeah, good afternoon, Tim. And of course, starting to get into the heat of the summer and wildfire season. So with that being said, we tend to track a lot of where that smoke is blowing and if we get hazy or smoky skies as a result. For today, it doesn't look too bad. In fact, just scanning the horizon all around me here, actually quite blue outside. And that's a result of just the atmosphere heating up, getting a little bit more unstable. And it does help to mix out a lot of those wildfire particles. So looking better than it did even just from this morning. We're at 80 degrees right now. Should be a pretty toasty day, and it is just all clear across the entirety of the Pacific Northwest. So no storm fronts to track, just another typical summer sunny like day out there. And I think our highs end up at upper 80s, maybe even some low 90s out there. Now, when we do track these wildfires, we'll look at the big ones for the most smoke producing, and that would be that Eagle Bluff fire that's up in northern Okanogan County, and this would be the Bedrock fire that's in central Oregon. These have been the 2 big smoke players, and this one in Oregon was trailing a little bit of smoke overhead, but most of it has mixed out as of this hour. So not enough smoke to give us any kind of air quality concerns unless you're immediately in the vicinity of some of those fires. Now coming up, I am tracking a little bit of extra cloud cover later on this week, so we'll have more on that extended forecast in just a couple minutes.
All right, Thomas, thank you. A traffic alert now. 2 major construction projects could affect your commute. The TJ Menock Bridge is closed to traffic this afternoon, and this is impacting Wistox Way and access to Maple and Ash, as well as Government Way. Detours are in place in both directions of the bridge while crews work on repairs. The bridge is scheduled to reopen later this week on August 5th on Saturday. We'll update you when that happens. Meanwhile, Upriver Drive is still closed to drivers. WashDOT crews are working on a sewer relocation near the Spokane River. The Centennial Trail is also closed between North Ralph Street and East Carlisle Avenue. Those closings will last until August 4th. Tomorrow is the deadline to submit your ballot for the Spokane County primary election. If you live in the city of Spokane, voters will decide who will be on the general election ballot in Spokane's mayoral race. Current Mayor Nadine Woodward is facing off against Lisa Brown, Tim Archer, Patrick McCann, and Kelly Stevens. Voters will also decide who will be on the ballot for City Council President. That includes Betsy Wilkerson, Kim Please, Andy Rathbun. They're all running for that position to replace former Council President Brian Beggs. Voters will also be deciding on which candidates will be on the general election ballot in November. All candidates will be in a single group on the primary ballot, no matter what party the candidate is with. That's because Washington State is a top 2 primary state. That means the 2 candidates who get the most votes advance to the general election on Tuesday, November 8th. Well, by now, most voters should have received their ballots in the mail. All you need to do is fill it out and get it into a drop box or postmark in the mail by 8 p.m. tomorrow night. If you have any more questions about this year's primary election, you can text the word VOTE to the number 509-448-2000, and we will send you our KREM 2 voter guide right to your phone. And then on Wednesday morning from 5 to 7 a.m., be sure to join us on Up with KREM for your election results.